cool. Vocal dope in the booth. Eric Brick be the truth. That's why I get the.
Let's side by side, together as brothers. Can't nothing stop us. Nothing.
Something that I definitely didn't want to hear news about as far as Young Thug, Gunna, and YSL pretty much hit with a Rico charge. This was something that I think a lot of people, including fans, including a lot of artists, I think even the industry was not expecting, because this is not New York. This is Atlanta. And when I say that, it's because you've seen a lot of Ricos being hit with artists from New York. Atlanta kind of, I would say, I ain't gonna say somewhat of a safe haven. You'll hear about a lot of artists moving to Atlanta. That way, we're seeing that it's kind of in this position where you kind of can move around freely and do what you do or whatever. And I ain't saying that you can do criminal activity and getting away with it. I'm just saying, though, it was a place where you heard about a lot of rappers going to, and a lot of, they were just moving there and doing what they was doing or whatever. But you also heard about a lot of younger artists or a lot of people that seemed like they had a hold on Atlanta.
Thug just wasn't. Well, I thought about this early on my channel, and this is what I say: if he's gonna he was gonna do it, you do it the smart way. He wasn't doing it the right way, whatever he was doing, because the stuff they got him on, I'm like, well, if you gonna do this stuff, you supposed to let the little people, the grunts and stuff, let them do that shit.
When you say that, that don't matter. This is why this is Rico. He could not be doing jack, and that's why they charging him on Rico, because whoever he's sending out, whoever blah 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 blah, if they say he was there, if they say he told them to do that, they got him. That's him. He made that. And by the once again, we're saying this is state Rico, and this is why some people are saying maybe they got a chance, a little bit of a chance, a little bit, because it's state.
You ain't meant to get out of Rico charge.
Gunna might have a chance if he started talking.
Gunna, and that's another important thing. Gunna is being charged with being in videos with YSL chains on, and this is what I'm saying about the whole importance of Rico and conspiracy. They are like.
They couldn't catch the mob. Yes.
All right. So when I was reading the article, I did a little backtrack of the history. YSL started in 2012. Thug blew up in 2014. Drop Stoner. This is my thing with rappers that want to do this stuff, right? If they want to get into it, honestly, it ain't even worth it, because if you are gonna do it, what he did was he took YSL, turned it into a record label while they were still doing their little stuff.
I don't know if they were doing jack. We don't have no confirmation because we weren't there. Yeah, allegedly, we don't know nothing.
We don't know fully. I just have hunches. But let's just say he took this gang supposedly and turned into a record label and turned into some legitimate business. And I think they should have just kept that legitimate business. Like, we focus on music, merchandise, and all this stuff. Like, all this other extra stuff, any gang-related shit, none of it. Because focus on that craft. Because it ain't even worth it getting it. Because look at right now, this Rico. Look at what he got hit now. Because that is past caught up. Like, the past caught up to you, and it got you right here. It's like, it ain't even worth it. Focus on that craft, focus on that music, or explore other avenues of business. Because when Thug is at the level he's at, he can't really be doing what he getting into this stuff like that. At the status he's at. Like, I wish he would have, just didn't bring this YSL thing into it, but I can understand why he even brought them into it, because them his homies, he want them to eat too. I totally understand why he's still, sticking with him. Like, you want to eat. And supposedly he is the leader of it. So he can't technically leave him behind if he's the leader of it. So that's what they're saying. They saying he's the leader. They saying he's the leader of the gang.
Of course, yeah.
I don't know about that.
And then, once again, this ain't no gang. This was a record label company. To me, just like you said, as far as 2012, he did go into making this a legitimate company. This was a legitimate company. If you keep hearing them saying stuff about 2012, they saying everything besides 2021, 2022, and all that. They going back, yeah.
But like 2015, 2014, around when he blew up, that's when they turned into a label. But still, turned into some legitimate business. But if they was doing anything sneaky on the side, so I say, I'm just thinking in general, like just rappers, everyone in general who's going to jump into this stuff, it is not worth it. Like just
but like I said, if you're not in the
street, you just gotta drop. You just gotta drop that pass.
You can't understand that. Yeah, that's true.
You gotta drop that pass and try to if you made it, like if you made it in music and you get a chance to get out there and do it, focus on that music.
And by the way, these guys were doing stuff like that. Thug had, I think, a Slime City he was about to do.
Yeah.
He had a whole like they bought land or whatever they was about to do with this. They had just bailed out like 25 or non-violent inmates out of Fulton County Jail. Yep. A couple months ago, they just did that. They was doing all type of positive things for Atlanta. So let's not get it twisted. Like they was out here doing all type of criminal activities or whatever. Personally, I don't know anything they was out here doing that was criminal. I seen a lot of things they was doing positive. And as far as him bringing his people on from YSL, a lot of those people was rappers now. A lot of those people was either security, cooks. They was turning them people into legitimate employees. Yeah. Everybody was legitimate employees.
See, that's what I like. That's what you should be doing. But let's say if they was doing any, quick illegal shit, should have dropped all that shit and took your boys, elevate them all into new spots, like to becoming rappers and stuff. Have them focus on that, like, and encourage them, like,
and even if
stay away from this illegal shit. We doing music, like I want you to build this craft. Like I understand you want to elevate somebody, but you got to elevate them in a different way. Like upgrade them to the next level. We all rich and stuff now, but we gotta go on a new path, and that's the music. Like, focus all on that craft.
This is why
it's some good quick money. Some good quick money, doing whatever, but it's like
ain't no good quick money if you got legitimate money coming in, and they was a large company. Thug was one of the biggest artists out here, if not the biggest artist out here. What's going on, Brillo? So as far as his brand and what he was doing, it was like you saying, as far as bringing all those people in. Even if he was doing legitimate stuff, you could have had 15 people doing legitimate stuff and it being 2 people doing illegal stuff. It was the connection to YSL and them having that name. Now everybody's connected because that's what the whole important is of the Rico charge. That shit makes everybody and everything connected because they turn YSL into a gang now.
Yeah, that's what I say. Personally, me, I would have dropped. This is the thing. Most rappers, I'm gonna be honest, everything they got to where they get, they ain't perfect. Like, like a T Grizzly. T Grizzly admitted that nigga used to steal shit, like, before he got into his rap shit. Like, he used to do some shit. But then it's like once he got into it, he dropped that shit. But he did some shit before that. But he completely dropped.
He had a brother, I think, recently got out and got back in. That went right back in, if I'm not mistaken, as far as T Grizzly.
Yeah.
Shout out T Grizzly, and as far as that situation, it's just T Grizzly spoken that he was like, damn, if I told bro you can't be out here doing this in the third, and then you see what happened as far as the situation. But
yeah, it's like once you look, you gonna do some stuff that you may not like to do. You gonna do some stuff that ain't that good, but once you get an opportunity, step away from that old shit that take those bad habits, step away from it. If you got this new opportunity that can take you other places, kill off a lot of those bad habits that can jeopardize this new shit you got going on. Because Thug built us some shit. He built some shit.
It was more important.
I miss my Rich Homie and Thug era. I miss that shit. We all know, Rich Homie about to make his comeback now. Rich Homie baby, he's coming back. Coming. I miss that era, but like he built up all this shit and then this stuff from the past.
What the fuck is wrong with this nigga? That's your man. That's your man.
I wish YSL was all this like legitimate right shit.
But yeah, as far as Thug and them, I just hate the situation because, like I said, they just recently dropped music. Gunna just recently dropped the album. Thug just recently dropped a compilation album with YSL. He was about to drop some new music. They was about to do some bigger things, and that's what I was saying about the whole thing. As far as they've been surveillance, people been watching them. They've been watching it for a while now, and it's like they wanted to wait till they got to that little pivotal point of getting to that peak of going to that next level. And it's like, got your ass. That's it.
Did y'all hear they might be using their lyrics against them?
Yeah, they gonna do that with anybody.
But see, this is what I'm saying about the whole shock of it. It ain't the shock that they got hit with Rico charge. It's the shock that Atlanta, what's going on? This don't happen in Atlanta. This don't happen to these type of art. This is New York. GS9 recently, and all respect to yeah, I was gonna say Casanova 2 times, who was an artist that recently had a exchange. Well, not recently, but he had exchange with 6ix9ine. But he recently pled guilty to Rico charges because people started telling on him within his organization.
Yeah.
And this is another New York artist. This was a lot of New York situations, and you never heard about it really happening in Atlanta or down south or whatever. So this was really the shock. So now it's like, what's going to happen to the whole street Atlanta hip-hop scene now?
Yeah, hip-hop is about to take a hit. It is, period. These artists got to clean up their act. You got to let go that illegal shit. You have to be legit with everything.
Get a chance to hear the DA, the DA woman?
Hey, she mentioned Jack Harlow. Like, she brought up Jack Harlow name. No. Well, one of the reporters brought up Jack Harlow name. And she didn't like recognize who Jack Harlow was, but his name was brought up in it.
She recognized him because she said we weren't trying to be cute.
Yeah, I don't know why Jack's name would come about. He ain't like YSL. And he ain't signed is he signed to YSL?
No. It was somebody or one of the reporters probably seen him in the video with Thug and them or whatever, and like, oh, ain't he connected to them or whatever?
Oh,
yeah.
Forgot what song he did with Thug.
The thing about that DA is I listened to her and she was on some shit like, if you come to Georgia, Fulton County, Georgia, whatever, and you come down here doing criminal activity, we are on you. We are on you. If we're not already on you, we are going to be on you. And we want to send a clear message.
And they established in Georgia, like with the whole lyric thing, like if it, and they didn't say it applies specifically to rap music, but we know it's probably they've been using rap music a lot as a reason why they have this, but it's general. So I guess if a country music star came out and said, I drown my girlfriend in the lake, yeah, they can use that against them. That's what it's supposed to do. This is where
people are saying something about your whole right of speech, Fifth Amendment.
Yeah, that's why I've always took hip hop as like a big fantasy. Like half of y'all niggas is lying, some of y'all telling the truth, or some of y'all just talking too damn much.
Shout out to Little Duval. He said our generation, and I guess K-Dot, I gotta give your generation some credit. He said our generation. One thing about our generation, we weren't telling the truth in our lyrics. This generation about everything they saying and they shit.
Exactly.
Hey, we about that life. Like,
straight line.
Told y'all, look, we've been out when we came out the wombs. We've been about that life. I ain't about that life, but I'm ready to be about that life. If she hits.
We see the scenarios is going on out here too. Leave that shit alone.
But and see, this thing with hip hop and shit, because it's like. It's weird now, but people's like honesty with these rappers, and quotation, honesty with these rappers, honesty. And when you're rapping about shit and you don't live it, people they gonna get turned off by it. But in reality, people don't really care because a lot of people love being lied to and they don't even know what's going on.
You know what, Tony? I'm glad you said that because you know why some of these rappers don't respect the OGs, because a lot of these OGs don't have income or they broke. They not listening to nobody that ain't got nothing or ain't coming in with nothing. They don't want to hear none of that you talking about, especially if they got more money than anything you have ever had in your lifetime right now. And that's what a lot of these young artists are straight up.
That's true.
Like,
that is exactly what it is.
Why am I listening to you? You ain't showing
because of the wisdom. Because of the wisdom.
See,
and they don't want to hear, and they don't see the value in the wisdom. But then they get Shit with
But
shit
see,
like
I'm
this.
glad you say that.
They
I'm glad you say that,
with
Nadia.
shit like this. Exactly.
I want to bring this up, and I want to give my flowers to this person who I've been doing constantly as far as Wallo. Somebody who has been talking to a lot of these young artists. Who Shiesty, Young Thug, recently Little Dirk. It's some more artists he been talking to, and he been preaching and preaching. He cried with Little Dirk, man, trying to tell his like, and not just Little Dirk, the people that was behind him, everybody in Little Dirk's circle, and even Young Thug circle. Definitely give your flowers to Wallo. You talking about all these people who been doing these interviews with these rappers. You have a lot of these people who come out, and the first thing they want to ask is who you got issues with, who you got beef with. And that's one thing I've never and Pop will not be planning on doing on this platform as far as talking about street beefs or anything as far as rap. I'm going to talk about as far as rapping against each other as far as lyrical.
Yeah, lyrical beef. Like, I can do lyrical beef. Yeah.
But I ain't doing that as far as talking about that type of shit. But as far as what Wallo be doing, I definitely want to keep giving my flowers to him as far as what his platform brings, as far as him and Gilly the King. They always preaching to these young artists, as far as these young street artists. And the fact that this was going viral the other day, as far as this clip he had with Young Thug, where he was talking about the same shit that they just got hit for. He was talking about everything, because Wallo is a individual who did time. He recently got out maybe 2 or 3 years ago. Yeah, about 22 years, if I'm not mistaken, or 20 years.
Yeah, oh, sorry, Nadia, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, what really got me is him talking about him spending more time of his life behind bars than he actually lived outside. And it's just like, as a person that I like to feel my feet on the ground, I like to do shit on my own time. I could not. The only way you gonna see me in some handcuffs is if you fuck with my kids. I tell you, like I would go hard for my children, but like, bruh, like to be behind bars, like over some street shit, over some nonsense, over some money. Fuck that. Hell no.
And once again, you gotta come from the perspective of somebody who is not, as far as coming from the streets. These individuals, like I said, you can't speak for people who've been in the streets, especially all their lives. And
that's different when the streets raised you.
Yeah.
I actually had people in my life raising me, so I can't even begin to understand the street life. Like I had a bed to go to every night. You know what I mean?
Right, and it's like look, when I stayed, like my brother recently got to stay in the projects and shit. I stayed with him for about like 4 years. I was exposed to a lot of that shit that was going on there, like drugs, drug deals, all that shit, and like. I could have easily like took part in that shit. I easily could have,
I easily could have made those choices.
But
some of us made those choices at times, and we learned.
I just never did it because I just never did it. I easily could have done any of that shit easily, but I just chose not to do it because like it ain't worth it. Because for me, I like to think ahead a lot in certain situations. I like to think ahead, like if I do this, what happens here? If I do this, then what happens here? And then you get that result, like, I'm be in jail. I'm cute. No, I ain't trying to go up in there. I'm too cute. I'm too cute. I ain't.
I feel the same
they
way.
gonna have fun with me in jail. I'm just saying, they gonna, I ain't trying.
I don't want to have to fight. I want to take a shower and go lay down.
I like you, and I want you. Now we can do this the easy way, or we can do it the hard way.
Yeah, I ain't trying to leave him.
I'm a picky eater, and I'm not eating no damn tuna fish sandwiches and shit. No. I like food. I like good food.
That's where I'm going to. I'm not trying to eat nothing like that.
I'm being
as far as being in an environment where I got to be around men constantly, no, you're not doing it. I'm out.
Always on, and you gotta always be on guard every single day. Is everybody want to try you? Anybody try you anytime? Like you are literally like, let's say you already in a life. You live in the street life where you are constantly always on guard. Anybody can take you out at any moment. Then you get thrown in jail, and you're then back into another environment where you're constantly always on guard. Like you can't.
You remember always hearing about situations where people be like, "I wasn't in the game, but when I went inside, I had to join." Make a choice.
Yeah.
And even when they join even when they join them gangs and shit, that's like.
Yeah,
even the way they have to join, that shit ain't even like you got to give up something. Like you gotta.
And let's remember, people out here talking about this is the whole thing with, once again, Rico conspiracy. You want to be out here repping gangs, saying anything about gangs, especially if you're an artist. This is what you looking forward to.
Yes.
If you,
You say
I don't know. Once again, I'm not trying to bash on Young Thug and them at all. Like I said, I want to give a shout out to everything they've been doing positive. I don't know how they grew up. I don't know their environment and everything they done went through. So I'm not putting nothing towards them as far as what they're going through right now. But what I will say, after what's going on now, if you are artists out here and you still on that stupid shit right now, man, fuck that, man.
nobody gonna have
After
sympathy
this,
for
like
you.
it's been, this is constantly now. Rappers are getting hit constantly, and not just with just regular charges. Rico, everybody, Rico. And especially now with Atlanta, it's like, okay, now it's like, oh shit, now you done. That's it.
Yeah, that's why
That's it.
that's why, and that's another thing, and we bring it back to the original thing with the community, our community itself. It's like,
Yeah,
The community.
At
if
us.
we are
It's all
part of
about
that, like that,
see, and this is where the financial shit come in. This is where yeah. Go
like
ahead,
that,
I'm
like
sorry.
and I think it's with our mentality in our community, it's like that hustle mentality and shit. It's like some money ain't worth it. I understand with that, you know, sometimes selling drugs and shit, all that, it's like easy, boom, boom, quick money, but it's like
It's pride
some
too,
money, some hustles ain't worth it.
especially with black men and
Like,
pride, trying to take
yeah,
care of
some
family, this and
hustles
that,
not
and third,
worth it.
not be broke.
Yeah, because then you're not valued because
And
you
that could
can't
go
be a
back to
broke
Kendrick
black
Lamar
man.
song.
Right, because
I'm trying to
I
tell you,
remember
he was all over everything.
I remember I was listening to this one Roddy Ricch song. And he said a line in it talking about like had no choice but to sell crack. I was like, yes, you
Yo,
did.
Tony.
That's a choice. You know, yeah, you in a place where like, you know, it's like you don't have a lot of opportunities to make money, and you know, selling drugs is a quick way to make a buck. But like, you know, that's a choice to take part in that. Like, you know, to say like it wasn't. Roddy Ricch said in songs like it no choice but to sell crack. Like that is a choice.
Yep, it's a
Yeah.
choice just like to go do a 9 to 5. You right about that, bro. Because you don't have to go out here and flip burgers with that. But if you want to decide to go, hey,
All right. Hey, with
9 to 5.
the 9 to 5, that shit could be mad boring. It is, but hey, you gotta.
You want to be mad born or you want to be mad locked up?
Right.
Like,
I'd rather be bad.
Mad
I'd rather be
born.
mad boring.
Absolutely. As
'Cause
far
at
as what
least
you saying,
it's,
Sit
you
the
Tony,
fuck
know,
down.
rappers need to learn when you go
or
away that long, you lose buzz and fans. It ain't even about that, bro. It's the fact that you lose in
It's your
family,
life now.
you losing your
It's
life.
your life.
The people you had employed, everything is taking a hit, bro. Like, especially when you a major artist and you've been taking care of so many people,
yeah,
that's a domino effect. Everything starts to tumble down.
They family. Because it's like, I thought the point of all of this, like to be wealthy is to build generational wealth so we not coming out bringing babies into broke situations. You know what I mean? And then acting like we did them a favor for, well, I'll let you live. And it's like, well, to what extent though? Like shit.
right.
And that's where,
Because this is the thing. Like, I'm not sure. Thug got kids with a bunch of different. I don't know. He got a bunch of kids with a
You
bunch
got
of
4.
different.
and he
I
take
don't
care of
know.
all of them.
I don't know how, because like, yeah, maybe he's still gonna make money off his albums and stuff, but like, how is that gonna work with each of his kids and stuff? Because the mothers and all that, like, you know, that it's just gonna be a complicated situation at that point. Because like, how is that money supposed to be splitting shit? You know, different factors into it. It's not like he has one mother with a bunch of kids. That's a lot easier. With all these different parties into it, it's like,
And
which
once
kid is
again,
which of his
how do
kids
we,
is really going to benefit from this?
and
Who's
once
going to
again,
benefit?
None, because now the father's not there. This is like, it's just
and that's the
so
whole
much that you.
generational thing again.
Yes,
Man,
it's so
add it
much
on,
shit
man.
that
Once
you
again,
fucking up with
back
it.
into
Because I'm
the
pretty sure these other people had children. These other people have
and
lives.
when y'all talk about
and
finances, how do we know his
domino.
finances are not froze right now? Because when you get charged with Rico, if I'm not mistaken, but this is state, once again, if I'm not mistaken, maybe it's only feds that freezes your assets and your accounts or whatever. Once you
Yeah,
get
they're
hit with
supposed to
this,
freeze his
yeah,
assets.
and that's another everybody,
And then these
everything
people
froze.
been living this lifestyle for so long, and it's like, now what am I supposed to do? And this affects children. And this is just what I'm just like this is the
And once
community.
again, this goes back to once you have these certain people employed, what they gonna do once they get out of this thing that they was used to as far as this situation they was in, as far as being legal. Now, are they gonna go back to doing stuff that they was doing if they was doing stuff illegal? Are you about to remix it back again?
Yep.
But once again, prayers up for Young Thug and Gunna and the families of YSL and everybody that's got this situation going on and they dealing with right now. Definitely prayers up for everybody.
Right.
Rich homie coming back, yo.
Man.
Anyway,
and OGs, shout out once again to Wallo. You have to have OGs out here that's talking to these younger guys, especially these young street guys
they
that's
gotta
coming into the
listen
game
though.
early, man. That's
They
the
gotta
thing.
listen
That's
though,
the thing.
and not realize that we hate, and we know y'all got money. We know y'all got y'all shit together way before we did. But it's like, but listen to our wisdom. Like, you gotta fucking listen. They don't listen.
That's the thing. They don't like some of these rappers. They don't listen. I think it's the fame. It's the fame. It's like that thing, and it's.
I feel like it's ego.
Yeah, ego is like a bunch of shit.
Especially if you got
power
in your community.
They're not as humble as they say they are. Like they say they humble.
It's not even about being a narcissist or anything like that. It's just about your ego. Like, people are feeding their ego and that power. Like, power.
It's really power.
Power, respect.
Then once you get to that point, as far as finances, if you've been somebody who been trying as far as street level, and then you get to a certain amount of money, and you're like, oh shit, I can really go out here, like, you know what I'm saying? Now I can really, I think a very important thing for artists to do, especially if you're a street artist, is move. You can still take care of your environment, but you should move because you won't be tempted to do certain things, especially if you're used to being around all these certain people in a certain environment. If you move and you're not used to this certain things, you'll stay out of it.
That's why I remember when Nipsey passed away and you still like I'm glad Nipsey was helping his neighborhood.
Yeah, that's the thing. See, that's what I get what they be trying to do.
Like,
you can't be in your neighborhood.
Move away. Like, move away. You know, you cannot be rich and be in Compton. Unless you restructure how it's built for you to comfortably live there, because all the stuff that's there, like the housing, the way it's set up, like it's all a systemic thing that's built in a way it is. And unless you are gonna come in here, and it's like, hey, man, let's put some new housing and stuff. Let's and
that's a lot of things some of these artists be doing.
Let's make sure it's a clean community. Let's hold more people accountable with keeping this community strong, upholding it, all that. Because personally, me, if I'm coming out of projects, make my way out, I'm leaving, but I will still help. I'm gonna say, hey, let's build this here. Let's build this school. Thing, stuff like
leaving. It's not just the fact that you're gonna have certain jealous people in the community that are not gonna like what you're doing. It's like, how you doing all this? Forget that part. It's the fact that you're gonna have law enforcement that's not gonna like what you're doing. Because if you're an individual that was locked up a bunch of times, locked up, and then now you out here doing big things, you a rap. Like, look at this. We used to lock this one up. He used to have his ass downtown all the time. Now he doing all of this. No. And this is what I say about the whole thing as far as sitting back and watching these individuals. Remember what I said as far as this is state Rico. It's like, look at we used to get these, grab up these young black men. We used to arrest these motherfuckers all the time. And now these are multi-platinum empire. Like, this is an empire now. They doing major things out here. They are buying neighborhoods. Like, they are rebuilding. Like, what's going on? Let's sit back and let them do what they're doing, and let's get them right when they about to do this. This is what I was saying as far as moving. Not just with your environment, but with law enforcement. Because I ain't gonna say all law enforcement, but certain law enforcement gonna get jealous of seeing you making a come up, especially if they was one of the ones that was arresting you all the time.
Yep.
Okay. Your house bigger than mine. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Nah.
Exactly.
No.
Exactly. No. You drive a better car than me? No. You're speeding.
It'd be a little bit of that too, Tony, but I feel like Thug was them type of artists that was taking care of their neighborhood so much, they didn't have so much jealousy going on. I feel like Atlanta was kind of more structured than a lot of more other states. Atlanta was a little bit more structured when it came to certain things like that. Because even with certain artists that didn't even like each other, they wasn't doing certain things they was kind of like, you stay over here, I stay over here. Let's make our money and let's just move. You know,
Right, and
I
that's
kind
why
of feel
I
like it was like that in Atlanta.
And that's why I think possibly, maybe Thug just did enough to keep some people happy and stuff. Last thing, like maybe just did enough to keep some people happy, keep things cool. You know, that's also the thing too. Like, you know, just because he's probably helping out a lot of people doesn't mean it's like, all right, these people are really like they thankful for it, all that. Like, you know, that I don't like I said,
Be like, why can't you do more? I don't know.
Yeah, like that type of shit. Like, dude, you probably got a
I
bunch
ain't
of
eating.
people are going like, it's like, you know, you built a school, Thug. That's cool. Can you build 5 more schools? Like, I just built you one school. Yeah, you can build some more. Like, you got all that money. Those I'm talking about them type of people in the community. Like, there's probably those type of people that was like, man, you're not doing enough. You can do a whole lot more.
Those type of people too. And then if you got those type of people in your organization, what's stopping them from telling or saying certain things that you was doing? Because if they don't even want them people, they want you, the star.
Yeah.
They don't care about teasing. They want you. But another thing too.
That's what I say. If he's the leader, oh shit, he's taking the biggest hit. He's taking the biggest.
That's what they doing, bro. That's all in the news. It's they charge him with extra charges. That's what they trying to do. They're trying to pin him as the top dog. If you watch The Wire, nigga, he's Marlo. He's that guy that got up that thing on the board. Like, they got him like that. That's what they trying to make it.
Say, look, ask me, do I want a problem?
No, I don't think you.
I don't ever want a problem. But when they say they want a problem, I say no problem. That's it.